Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities. We'll walk through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and all the commodities and ETFs that I follow. This just gives you a big kind of it's a big view approach, kind of a high level viewpoint where you just look over all the different sectors and say, does it look good or does it look bad? That's why I go over these and which sectors look interesting to invest in, and then I dive in deeper to each sector with individual companies. If you guys need help with the commodity bull market, definitely check out finding-value.com. That's where I talk about my individual companies and individual holdings on how to play all this. You can become a platinum member, use the word discount in the coupon code. All right, so let's dive in. I'll start with the dollar, the DXY. The DXY has just been grinding lower, basically. I'm surprised we didn't get a turn right here. We had nice, good buying pressure right through there, these two big up candlesticks, but you know what? It just keeps powering lower. So we were flat today, 0.16 up, but momentum is definitely to the downside. This very much looks familiar to that 2001, 2002 timeframe where we peaked and headed lower in that last bull market for commodities. That was in 2002 as we headed lower after that. So we're heading lower, weaker dollar overall. And today was flat. Looking at the 10-year yield, just moving sideways today, it's up 0.9%. It does look like we're trying to base out here. So, you know, we're just moving sideways with the 10-year yield. The 20-year bond ETF, again, we're just chopping sideways. I mean, it's slightly lower, but for the most part, it's just chopping sideways in this action there. We've got the 30-year yield. Again, that's just chopping sideways, up 0.14%. And we did see the yield curve invert a little bit, and this is heading a little bit lower. Generally, what that is when oil goes up, it seems like the TYX to TNX ratio goes down, the yield curve inverts. So I do think that there's a possibility with oil breaking to the upside that this yield curve inverts even further, and the yield curve goes higher. So that's what I've got there. The CRB index is also firming up today, looking quite strong for a potential move higher. There's our consolidation period, the three humps, the break. We have the fourth little lead-in pattern, and now we're on our way moving higher for the CRB index. Heavily indexed to oil. And there's no surprise that oil is heading higher today. The CRB to S&P 500, slightly lower today for this ratio. I do think that this is possible to head lower if we get into kind of a buy everything type of event where everything starts going up, which I think is possible. Gold heading a little bit lower today. This is a reversal candlestick, or could be a reversal candlestick. This is a bearish engulfing pattern where it engulfs the ones before it, where we could get a little bit of a pullback in gold. We've had a very large run in gold, so it's kind of overdue. And if you take a bigger picture view, we are coming up to basically all-time highs, and sometimes you get a little bit of a sell-off there, a little bit of a slowdown. I think that we're going to continue to break to the upside at some point, but we could get a little bit of a rest, or maybe we go a little bit sideways, kind of sideways here before heading higher. Silver, again, we're just chopping sideways in this pattern here. Big picture view. We've got our double bottom here. We broke out. We did a consolidation period. We retested that breakout, which is this guy there, and then I think we're going to work our way and grind higher. So it looks good on a big long-term perspective. It's just going to take time. Platinum also looks fantastic. False breakout, the retest, and then we're going to work our way higher. It doesn't mean that we just go straight higher. We're going to grind higher. We do have a little bit of selling pressure here in the short term. We could head back a little bit further. This is a bearish engulfing here. Engulfs the ones before it. And we're heading a little bit lower. No reversal candlestick yet. So I do think it could continue lower for platinum. XAU to gold ratio, that's a bloody nose, looks good. That's what I call it. That's just a continuation pattern to the upside. So gold and silver mining companies will outperform gold in the short term here, in my opinion. GDX slightly lower, but again, we're going against gold, which was also down. But that looks okay. Momentum still to the upside. SILJ also getting a little bit more selling pressure today. Kind of a bloody nose. It's a little bit too large to be bloody nose. We could see a little bit of a pullback before heading higher, but either way, the momentum is still heading higher. So that still looks good. Crude oil up 1.21%. We have broken out of this falling wedge to the upside. Sometimes they go sideways. Sometimes they do a retest and then go higher. But we'll eventually work our way on up to the upside, in my opinion. Natural gas does look like it's putting in a bottom here. I'm getting more bullish on it. This is a hammer candlestick. Finally, kind of a reversal candlestick where we could potentially head higher. So that is at least somewhat promising. It's not, I mean, we might not have bottomed. We could go and do one of these, but it looks like it's trying to bottom with that hammer candlestick. XOP, yeah, you know me. Money flows rolling into the oil and gas exploration production companies. I do think this will go higher. It will continue to grind on higher. We've broken the downtrend. Bigger picture view on the weeklies. You can see on the weeklies, we're still moving up. And then on the monthlies, we're just coming up. If you do this, you get this kind of inverted head and shoulders pattern that's developing. So I see that across the board in exploration production companies and also energy service. So this is looking good. OIH is also looking fantastic. This is really, really low. I think OIH is one of my favorite sectors this past year. Yeah, this past year has been really good. And I do think that we're about to embark on a move higher. We put it on logarithmic. You could say that this is a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. So that's an inverted head and shoulders bottoming pattern. We've broken to the upside. It looks good to go. Uranium. The Sprott Physical Uranium Trust looking fantastic. Momentum continuing higher. Good strong candlestick today. Again, our eyes are set on breaking 1818. We want to get above that. URNM, we're right at that resistance line. So we did get a little bit of a selling day. That is a bloody nose. A bloody nose is a continuation pattern going higher. It's a small down day next to a tall green candlestick. And it's just like it got punched in the nose. So we call it a bloody nose. TAN slightly higher today. Momentum slightly lower, but this still looks good. We've got our symmetry. This side looks like this side. And the way that it comes back up and the resistances that we encounter as we go back up is the same as the way it fell. So I do think that will continue higher with time. Just give it time. COPX basically flat today. So it's flat today. Again, we've had a monster run in COPX. There we go. And what I look for is I look for patterns that kind of move up to a tip and then fall back down. It doesn't mean that will happen. I'm just saying short term though, we've gotten pretty extended here. I mean, this has been a big move higher. So I do want to see a little bit of a pullback or something. LIT up 2.34%, still looking good. Momentum to the upside. Looks pretty strong. REMX also continuing to move higher, breaking out of its resistance trend line. Looking fantastic for a move on higher. Now this thing looks really good from a big long-term perspective. You got support right there. Did a retest. And now we're putting in a big fat green candlestick on the monthly. We go to the weekly. We're breaking to the upside. This thing looks fantastic with good momentum. So rare earths looking fantastic. Now S&P 500, look at that, guys. This looks strong to continue higher. So the S&P looks great. We had a nice little move today. The dailies finished strong, looks strong, is strong. NASDAQ also looking good, 1.76% higher. I think that this is a break. It's starting to get more favorable for a continued move higher, especially as we move away from that trend line. EEM, emerging markets, also moving higher. This looks fantastic. I like emerging markets. We've had this broken down trend line, and we've got the green army showing up. The green army is big, large green candlesticks from opening to close. It's these two guys here, and that momentum looks like it could continue up. XHB also heading higher today, slightly higher. We're right at that resistance line, resistance support level, and we'll kind of pause here for maybe for a little bit and then break to the upside. Home builders are looking strong. MU is also moving higher. Nice strong day today. Looks good. Big picture view. We had a consolidation period, a breakout, a return move, and now we're starting to move on up again. Copper continues to amaze me as we've had some really good moves here from this move forward, and we're putting in another strong day today. So quite surprising. Lumber gapping higher, 5.17%, and holding there. So we've got a clear falling wedge break to the upside. Looks fantastic. Nickel also looking fantastic to move to the upside. Continued strength. Aluminum slightly higher today. Still looks fantastic, guys. This is an inverted head and shoulders. So what this is we had an inverted head and shoulders that broke to the upside. Boom. Had a return move back to the breakout. This breakout here. And then we put in another inverted head and shoulders, which is shoulder, head, shoulder on the neckline. Well, the neckline's a little lower than that, but Baltic Dry Index still quite low right now. And I do think this is a false breakout to the downside, and this will slingshot higher. So I like the Baltic Dry Index down here. Looks very good. You could even say that this here is kind of a pattern there of a channel. Newcastle coal slightly lower today and still looking all right within this pattern, which is consolidating. We've got 1 hump, 2 hump, 3 hump, then we usually work our way higher. So this consolidation's almost done. Looks good. Ethereum slightly lower today. We'll run back to the candles. Bloody nose to move higher, maybe. And then Bitcoin, also small little down day today. But overall, guys, looks okay. I like oil. Natural gas finally looks like it's trying to put in a bottom with that hammer candlestick. I'm not calling a bottom yet. It's going to go sideways, but it's trying to put one in. Precious metals, a little bit of short-term weakness in the short term. But overall, everything looks really good. The overall markets look really good. S&P, NASDAQ, all that stuff. It all looks really good. Lumber's moving higher. Home builders are moving higher. So it looks like monetary tightness is finally loosening up. And we can see that in the charts. And hopefully we get an everything rally coming up here. That's what I'm hoping for. If you guys like the content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. We'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.